Shalom everyone, it's called Torah, and I would like to talk to you about the Parashat Achrei Mot. We're really going to read two parashot this Shabbat, Achrei Mot Kedoshim, but I would like to focus on Parashat Achrei Mot. Parashat Achrei Mot is very famous in a way, even though that when you read it you will say, famous? What kind of famous? It really describes what we call the Seder HaAvodah, the service in the temple that took place on Yom Kippur, one of the holiest days on our Jewish calendar. And there is a detail there that I would like to discuss with you today and to really try to understand the meaning of it and the ramification and the consequences that really comes from that concept. The Torah says that when the high priest goes into the holy and into the holy of the holiest, and he's performing all his avodat hamikdash, all his temple service, he needs to do the following: V'chiper ba'ado uve'ad beito uve'ad kol ke'al Yisrael. He should atone for himself, he should atone for his home, and then he should atone for the entire Jewish people. And the Talmud says, Beito zo ishto. When he says Beito, meaning for his home, that means his wife. And the Talmud says that the Kohen Gadol, that the high priest, must be married. And not only that, the Talmud in Yoma says that they will get another woman ready in a way, that if the Kohen Gadol's wife, if the high priest's wife dies suddenly, he will marry this designated woman. And it seems to be that there is so much focus that the high priest will be married, will have a family, will have a household. And in a way, without it, something will be missing. He will not be able to really atone for his home if he does not have one. Interestingly enough, by the way, when you look at the laws of kentos, of chazanim, especially during the high holidays, the halacha, I cannot say require, but really encourage that the chazan will be married and will have children. If not, and if his voice is pleasant and he is accepted upon the congregation, obviously he can, but it's preferred that he will have a home, he will have a family. Why is that? That especially when it comes to the high priest, we are so meticulous, we really require him to be married and to have a family. You would think that very much like in different religions, the high priest, the leader of the religion, should exclude himself and not be married and will have all his time focused only on Torah learning, on coming closer to God, on community activities. Why do we want him to be married and to have the household and to have all the other things that we know that when it comes with the wife and the children, that quote unquote takes quality time from his desire to come closer to God? The answer for this question is really the core, or at least one of the points of core in our religion. The high priest is not an angel. The high priest is not God's assistant. The high priest is a man like me and you. His father was a Kohen. He was chosen to be the high priest because of beautiful attributes that I'm sure he has. And he's designated to serve God in a very special way. But we will never want him to lose sight from knowing what kind of hardships, burden, joy we all have. We do not want him to be disconnected from the day-to-day issues, topics, burdens, accomplishments. By being married, by going to the grocery store, by listening to his kids, by educating them, inspiring them as well, having a strong family, knowing what's going on in the marketplace, knowing what's going on even beyond and outside the walls of the temple is a necessity. So he will know the people. He will know their needs and he will know their desires. He will know their wants and he will know their goals. So he will know that when he davens for them, if he is the cantor, and if he is trying to be on their behalf as the high priest, he knows where his people are. He is not disconnected. He is not oblivious to their needs. The high priest also have some challenges in his life with his family life. He probably committed some sins that related to family. And we want him to know that. So when he comes to atone for all of us and to bring our atonement closer to God, so he will know what he is talking about because he himself is part of it. And I think it's a tremendous message. Too many times we have experience with leaders who are totally what we call in Hebrew in Migdal Hashen. They are in their palace somewhere. They have no idea what's going on with the average person. But they talk on his behalf. We don't believe in it. The first thing Moshe did after he grew up is Vayetze Elechav. He went out from his palace and he went to see his brothers. He knew that to be in the palace and to try to rule over a nation or to try to understand the nation without knowing them, it's impossible. So I think the message is very clear. Even if you are a leader, you need to understand the big picture. You need to understand the broader view of what's going on and the nation that you lead. You can't do it with a remote control. You need to talk to the people. You need to be immersed with them. You need to be married. You need to have kids. You need to have a family so you know what's going on in the day-to-day life. And only with that, you can come to the temple and to atone for yourself, for your family, and for your nation. Thank you.